After a night in a clean, warm bed, my dad road walked back to the trail at mile 275 on Van Dusen Road. Before long, the trail he was walking on was knee-high snow. Strangely, he came across a pair of abandoned snowshoes. Boy, was he tempted to wear them on that trail. It's fortunate he didn't, because he ran into the owners later. The group, 4 older people and their dog, just decided to stroll to the PCT and back for a morning constitutional. At the trail proper, he switched to snow pants, waterproof socks, gaiters, traction cleats, and started using his ice axe continually. He slogged his way up to 8,000 feet, where he cruised for most of the day. At times, he'd be on the south-facing slope with the view of Big Bear Lake, and he'd hope that the worst was behind him. Then the trail would wind around until the north side, and the punishment would continue, just one agonizing step after another. He never knew if his foot would rest just shoe deep, knee deep, or groin deep. He discovered pretty quickly waterproof socks are not. He kept following the footprints of people in front of him. Every time he questioned why the prints wandered away from the trail, he was pleasantly surprised to find they followed a Forest Service road for a bit and took him off the slopeside trail. Slopeside trails are the worst. If you're lucky, the PCT is the width of a long-handled tool like a pull ski. It doesn't take much snow to cover the trail so that the trail is indistinguishable from the angles of the slope. Each step is at an angle. Each step has to be chosen with great discernment. With each step, you sink your ice axe just in case the snow doesn't hold. Repeat for mile after exhausting mile. Another low mileage day, he found himself at Little Bear Creek Camp, mile 286. All the flat spots without rocks or bushes were covered with snow. His thermal barrier, sleeping pad, sleeping bag did the trick. During the night, feeling came back to his feet. No damage done. The camp's outhouse was a treat. Although the bulk of the snow was behind him, the start of the days was tough. Besides the occasional snow section, he had to cross the Holcolm Creek 4 times. Each time he'd have to plan the crossing carefully. At the first crossing, it looked like he could just hop rocks, but a branch he was using for stability broke. He landed butt first on a water-covered rock, giving him a bruise. His left foot and hand went in the water. It would have been better just to walk straight across without prep. As he went downstream, the creek grew larger and larger. Each crossing needed preparation to cross. Choose a path, switch to sandals, grab a branch for a third point of contact. Dry your feet after crossing and get ready to hike again. He finally left Holcolm Creek and joined Deep Creek, where he could speed up. Really, he had to keep his speed up. The temperature dipped as he was hit by high winds and hail. It wasn't until later that afternoon when he could enjoy the highway-like trail that paralleled Deep Creek. Incredible views, and when he had to cross the creek, there was a bridge. The recent storms did some damage, though. Huge trees and boulders blocked the trail in places, which required some work to get around. But he had made it to his destination. He'd been looking forward to seeing Deep Creek hot springs all day. The idea of soaking his feet in the hot springs and eating dinner kept him going all day. The next day would be short, only 16 miles. At the end of it, a pickup and a break. Of course, he came out of Deep Creek Canyon, where the creek was at its wildest and deepest. The trail crossed the creek without a bridge. With the wind chill, it was below freezing, and the idea of swimming across the creek was not appealing. So he road-walked for 2.5 miles from mile 313 to 314 to avoid the swim. Then it was mostly just desert trail in the foothills up until his pickup. One seasonal stream did give him trouble, though, at mile 317. Although relatively shallow, it was the longest crossing yet. Snake count, 0. Trail stops checklist, Van Dusen Canyon Road, check. Snow pants, waterproof socks, gaiters, tractions,